practice with the first part of this lesson has gone well. We are going to be doing the second part of the lesson today, and it kind of builds on to the first part. So the next words are basically, I'm going to teach you some base signs, and by knowing these base signs, you can expand on them. If you remember these base signs, then you can remember a bunch of other clusters of words that go with them. So the first base sign I want to teach you is the sign for week. So you hold up with your passive hand, with your palm facing you, a flat hand, and then with your signing hand, you're going to put up a one finger, and you're going to go across the hand like this with your finger poking up. Week. Week. If I want to say every week, I would repeat it like that. Now, I can show past or future by going back, like last week, or forward for next week. So last week, next week, every week. Now I can also incorporate a number into this sign and show how many weeks. So like 2 weeks, or 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks from now. So we can incorporate the number into the sign to show how many, also past or future. And one other thing with week, if you go across like this and then chop it off at the end, that will be the sign for weekend. Weekend. Next is the sign for month. This is your next base sign. So your first base sign was week. Your second base sign is month. Month, you're going to put your palm forward and make a one-hand shape. Your second hand is also going to make a one-hand shape, but your palm is going to face you, and you're going to slide down the back of this finger. Month. So I can say every month. I can say last month. I can say next month. Now, I can also incorporate a number, right? So 2 months will be what? 2 months. What about 2 months ago? 2 months back. What about 3 months from now? Forward. Very good. All right. So, so our base signs we have so far are week, month. The next one is the base sign for year. So you're going to make fists. Think of like planets rotating around each other. So year. Now, if I wanted to say 3 years, I would go like this. 3 years. Some people will actually go like this rather than going fully around the wrist. If they're going to incorporate a number, they'll just do a shortcut version of it. 3 years. If I wanted to say 3 years ago, you would flick the 3 back. So 3 years ago, what about 2 years from now? 2 years forward. Good. If I wanted to say every year, I would flick the 1 repeatedly. So every year, every 2 years. Okay, so that was your third base sign. Your next base sign is a sign for hour. This one I'm going to hold with my passive hand. I'm going to put up my palm, and I'm going to have it just kind of in a neutral position. Some people will face it more out, some people more on the side or even a little bit forward. But think of this as the face of a clock, right? So I'm going to take this hand and make a number. We're going to start with 1 and go around the clock. Some people keep the wrist straight, and some people do a twist like that. 1 hour or 1 hour. Either way is fine, though. Both work just fine. So 1 hour. So 2 hours would be what? 2 hours. Now, if I wanted to show past or future with this one, 2 hours, I actually don't keep the number on my hand when I go back or forward. This one will just be 2. If you're doing hours in the past or future, you would just do the number and then go in the past. So 2 hours ago, or in 2 hours will be in the future. So 4 hours, 5 hours. Again, it works up until 9 because 10 doesn't work. So up to 9 hours. Now, if you take this same base for hour and you just tick the finger forward like that, it will be the sign for minutes. So like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If I up to 9, I can just put the minutes onto it. So like 9 minutes, 8 minutes. If I wanted to say 3 minutes ago, 3 minutes in the past. In 5 minutes will be future, 5 minutes in the future. Let's see. Oh, if I went like this, so my clock, right? If I take this hand and go just halfway down, I can either do it with the full hand or the one hand shape. If I do that, it's half hour, or half hour. Okay, and then minutes. Seconds, I see people go seconds where they, instead of just ticking it forward like we do for minutes, they bounce it. So seconds, or a lot of people will just spell out SEC, seconds. Personally, I prefer SEC. This, I don't, it's too fast, and it's too close to minutes in my opinion, so I prefer SEC. But this is good too. Okay, let's see, minutes. And then we have a few more words. So keeping those base signs in mind for that part, we had week, we had month, we had year, we had hour, and then from that we could do minutes and seconds. Okay, next is a sign for time. We would just touch down on our wrist like that, time. So if I wanted to say, what time is it? I put a WH question on my face. If I wanted to say on time, think of like on the dot, on time. If I wanted to say, like give the time to somebody, so for example, if I wanted to say 3:30, I could incorporate the number, touch down on my wrist, 3:30, 4:45, 2:20. So you refer to the wrist for the first number, and then add the second part of the time right next to it. Okay, let's see. Next is the days of the week. So we're going to make the first letter of the day and turn your palm towards you and make a circular motion. So Monday, Tuesday with a T, Wednesday with the W. Now we already used the T for Tuesday, so we're actually, for Thursday, we're going to make TH. And people will just sign Thursday, or they'll make the circular. It doesn't matter. I see it both ways. So Thursday or Thursday. And then we have Friday with the F, Saturday with the S. We already used the S for Saturday, so Sunday. Sunday. Or Sunday. Some people do this kind of more of a movement like this. So Sunday or Sunday. Something cool with the days of the week, if you wanted to show something that reoccurred every week on that day, so for example, every Monday or every Wednesday, you would make the letter like you were going to sign Monday, but you would pull it straight down. Every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, every Sunday, every Thursday. So if you pull it down, think of on a calendar, the months go down, right? Their weeks go across, but the months are full, they go down. So think of that for every Monday, every Wednesday. Okay, let's see. The sign for calendar. The older sign is with a C. Think of like this being a calendar, the page going up the front and down the back. A lot of people now sign calendar more like this though, like you're lifting a page and turning it to the back. Calendar. Next, months of the year. So they're pretty much the abbreviations. So January, February, now March, April, May, June, July. You just spell the full month out. And then it's back to abbreviations again. August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Hang in there. Next is the sign for through. There's actually 3 ways to sign through depending on how you're using the word. If I was referring to time, I would sign through by drawing a line like this. So if I wanted to say, I work Monday through Friday, I would sign so you draw the line. If I was talking about through as in I have to go through the mountains to get to the lake, then I would sign through like this. Some people go through these fingers, some people these ones. Personally, it feels more comfortable to me to go like this, but any one of those is fine. So through. And then the last way is through as in, all right guys, we're through with class, you can go now, which would be the sign for finished or all done, through. I added a couple words on here for sentence building. First one being the sign for bed. Yeah, bed. Think of like laying on a bed like that. Bed. And sleep. Your whole face kind of sleep. And wake up. Think of eyes opening. Wake up. And then the sign for birthday is done with your middle finger, touching on your chin, and then coming down to your chest. Birthday. And then the last thing, vocabulary words I want to show you on here today are the tenses. So we talked about future and past, right? So the sign for will is very similar to future, but it just comes right off the cheek. Will. The past would be like that, but in a tense, you would actually use the finished sign. So think of like it's over, it's done, it already happened. And then the current or present tense would be now. So for example, if I wanted to say, I went to school. School, me, go, finished. It's done. It already happened, past tense. If I wanted to say, I'm going to school, it hasn't happened yet. It's in the future, so will. So if I wanted to say I'm at school, I would go school. Right now, current or present. So tenses, if you notice, fall at the end of a sentence. So tenses fall at the end of a sentence, but time actually comes at the beginning of a sentence. So if I wanted to say, I went to work yesterday. There's a time indicator in there. So now there is a tense too, because there's went. But I don't have to sign the finished at the end for went because I already established the yesterday. So if you have a time indicator and a tense in the sentence, you only need to do the time indicator because then the tense is established. But if there's no specific time indicator in a sentence, but there's a tense, then I would need to sign the tense at the end. So I went to school versus I went to school yesterday. Versus, all right, that makes more sense as you practice and go along and get used to, the rules and whatnot. So don't feel stressed about it. It's okay. It'll get more and more natural as we go along. Okay, so for grammar this week, today we talked about the timeline, which is your body, how it represents the center of a timeline. Past signs go back, future signs go forward, present signs are right in front of your body. Time and tense placement in a sentence, time coming at the beginning of your sentence, if it's a specific time indicator, and tense falling at the end of your sentence. Numerical incorporation, that's when you incorporate a number into one of the base signs to show how many. And then using the timeline to show future or past. For rule of 9 is when you can incorporate a number into the sign up to number 9. All right, guys, let's do a couple of sentences here. All right. Number 1 is, I work Monday through Friday. Sorry. Number 2, I need to go to the bathroom every morning. There's a specific time indicator in there, right? Every morning. So, and then topic is what? Bathroom. Okay, so So every morning, topic, bathroom, I need to go. Go is not really necessary because of course you have to go to the bathroom to go to the bathroom. So it's kind of not necessary to sign the go part. Okay, one more sentence, number 3. What time does your sister wake up? So topic was your sister, and then wake up, and then what time. Now notice I'm asking the what with my face while I'm signing the time sign. Okay, all right, there we go. We'll stop there. I know this is a lot. That's why I like to break it up into 2 parts when possible. But you can do it. You can do it. Thank you for being with me. Keep going. Keep practicing.